All right. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great Tuesday so far, and welcome to another live broadcast here in the Authentic Married Woman. I am Karen Seitz, and I am a coach and a mentor for married women to teach them how to find their happiness within, how to reconnect deeply with who they are as a way to solve the issues in their marriage and create the marriage and life that they always dreamed of. And today I just wanted to jump on and talk about a common trap that most of us fall into in marriage and life and in different relationships. And we get stuck here. And I want to talk about that and how to set yourself free. So I wanted to come on really quick today and talk about how no one and no thing can make you happy. And on the flip side of that, how no one and no thing can make you unhappy. Very many of us know at a deep level that no one and no thing can make us happy. We've heard that 1,000 times. You've heard that in almost every single video that we've done here in this group. And we all know that, but we really struggle with the flip side of that of, well, I know that no one can make me happy, but my husband can make me really unhappy. The things that he doesn't do or the things that he does do that I want him to change, those things make me unhappy. And that's the trap. Recognizing that just like happiness is an inside job, our unhappiness is also an inside job. And while that can be a tough pill to swallow and something that can be difficult to face within ourselves, it empowers you to be able to change when you can take responsibility that you're unhappy on the inside in your marriage and your husband. It's just a reflection of your unhappiness on the inside. That puts you in the driver's seat to be able to change. And that's really what this group is about, what we're about at a New Life Center, and how I show up as a coach and a mentor to other women is to show you the things that you have control over to change, and the things that you can be empowered to change in yourself, in your life, in your marriage, that will allow you to move forward and create a marriage and a life that you love, that is perfect for you. And it all starts with you, and being willing to look in the mirror and focus on working on yourself. And so that's why I wanted to come on and talk about this trap, thinking that your husband can make you unhappy, and understanding that that's just a reflection of the unhappiness that you have on the inside. And for me in my life, and I see this a lot with other women that I work with, we really, really struggle to be honest with ourselves that we are unhappy on the inside, because that's vulnerable and exposing. And for me in my life, learning that I was unhappy on the inside made me feel like there was something wrong with me. That above all else, do not let myself know, do not let anyone else know that I am unhappy on the inside. But when I could finally accept that, and see how my life showed me how I was unhappy, how my marriage was a mirror reflecting back to me how I was unhappy. Yes, it was vulnerable and exposing, but it gave me a place to move forward from and start to know where to look in myself and what to work on in myself and change in myself, that then had a direct impact on my marriage and a direct impact on my life. And that's the same that you can do for yourself. So to understand this, we first have to actually understand what unhappy means and what happy means, because we define it completely different. I used to think that unhappy was about how I felt, like feeling unhappy, and that being happy meant feeling happy. And then I learned there was a much deeper meaning and experience of happiness, and a way to define unhappiness. So, how we define happiness is a deep acceptance of who you are, just wanting to be you, and just wanting the life that you have, even with the issues, even with the challenges and the things that you have to overcome in your life. When you're happy on the inside, there is a deep acceptance of yourself and a deep acceptance of your life. You're able to see the good things in your life and the good things about yourself, and you feel good about yourself, a deep internal feeling good about yourself, independent of anything external of you. It's a self-value that you create and you build within yourself, so you feel really good about who you are on the inside. And when you're able to do that for yourself, you begin to project that out onto your life. So you start to see the good things about your marriage and the good things about your husband, and you start to accept your husband for who he is, which then allows him to re-engage in the relationship and re-engage with you, because you're not wanting him to be anyone different than who he is, because you have a deep acceptance of yourself. So when you want your husband to change, you're wanting him to change to make you feel better, to somehow make you happy, which is impossible. So when you can do that for yourself, you can actually walk alongside your husband, not looking to him to make you happy. And when you're married to a good man, he is thoughtful and kind and generous and loving and responsible. So you get to experience him as those things. But when you're needing from him and pulling from him to be something for you, to fill some void and emptiness within yourself that you're not able to fill for yourself, it actually pushes him away and he feels like he can't do anything right. And then you continue to project your own unhappiness onto him. So if being happy is a deep self-acceptance, meaning you just want to be you and you just want the life you have, being unhappy means you have a void and emptiness within yourself that you're constantly trying to fill. And how we naturally do that in our humanness and how the mind works is we look outside of ourselves to fill that void and emptiness. And it never actually fills us up. It's like we're a bucket with holes in it. And those external relationships might make us feel good for a little bit, but then we feel that void and emptiness again. So that's part of what it means to be unhappy. And what it also means is that you want to be someone else and you wish you had a different life. So you wish you were someone else and you wish you had a different life. And it might not always be so literal. You might wish you had different qualities. You might wish you looked different, or you had a different body type, or that you had different skills and different gifts. You might wish that your husband was different. You might wish you had a different job. You might wish your kids were doing better in school or that they listened to you more. Or you wish you had a different house and you wish you had a different car. If those are the things going on internally within you, that's letting you know that you are unhappy and that that's not a bad thing. That as humans, because of how the mind works, which is to look outside of us for our happiness at a fundamental level, we are unhappy because the nature of the mind is that it is a void and emptiness, and we're constantly looking to fill it. So it's not a bad word, it's not a bad thing. And when you can see that you're unhappy and be willing to see that in yourself, to see how your marriage, your relationship with your husband, or your relationship with your job or your family, how that's reflecting back to you, your own internal world, then you can do something about it. You can start to do the work to build that self-value and feel good about yourself, independent of anything external. And when you work on that, everything begins to change. That's exactly what happened for me. I was in a place about 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, where I was unhappy in my marriage and I was constantly focused on my husband, how he wasn't speaking my love languages, how I felt ignored, how he wasn't engaged in the relationship, and he didn't care about spending quality time. I was so focused on those things to cover up this deep unhappiness within myself that I had had for a long time. As long as I could remember, I was wishing I was somebody else and wishing that I had a different life or that somehow I had gotten the wrong life. And so when I started to look at that within myself and the choices and decisions that I was making in my life to create that lack in myself and that craving to be someone different and that craving to have a different life, when I started to look at my choices that led to that, then I was able to start making new choices that helped me to feel good about myself, that helped me feel like I mattered to me. And I began to fill that empty bucket, and there were no more holes because it was coming from within me. And when that started to happen, everything in my marriage started to change. And I took that blame and projection off of my husband and started to experience him completely differently. And we've been growing and learning ever since. And that's what I teach other women how to do, to take the focus off trying to change your husband and trying to change your marriage, and recognizing that your marriage and your husband is a mirror reflecting back to you that you're unhappy on the inside. And when you begin to work on that with the right strategies and the right tools, then you begin to make massive transformation and make massive steps forward in your life, in your marriage. And that's what we're about. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about, when you think it's your husband making you unhappy, that is a trap, and you will never get out of it. And the problems will only get worse. You'll only begin to feel more ignored. You'll only begin to feel like your husband is disengaged, that you come last, that you give and you give and you give and you never get anything back in return, and you feel like you have nothing left to give. Those things only get worse when you think it's your husband making you unhappy. So what you have to be willing to do is see how your marriage, your husband, your life is reflecting back to you that you're unhappy on the inside, and knowing that that's okay, that that's not bad, that's not wrong. That's a normal human experience. And when we can look at that and work on that, then you begin to make massive transformation in your life and take huge steps forward. So the first step is being willing to see, how does your life or your marriage show you that you're unhappy on the inside, and being willing to look at that, to put the problems you're having in your marriage over here and just look in the mirror and start to work on yourself and look at the choices and decisions you are making that are causing you to be unhappy on the inside, wishing you had a different life and wishing you were someone else. And when you can start to work on that, then you can start to learn how to be happy and what that truly means. So I also want you to find someone who can teach you, who's walked the walk, who knows how to find happiness within and how to cultivate that independent of anything external, that is necessary in order to move forward in your marriage, in order to get back that connection with your husband, to feel like soulmates again, to feel like you're growing and learning again. You have to learn how to find your happiness on the inside. It does not come naturally to us. It is something we must be taught, and it's something that we must be guided through, and it's something we have to consistently put the hard work and effort into. And so if that's you, if you are 100% committed to finally finding a solution to the problems in your marriage, and you're ready to do some deep personal growth work and personal development work on yourself to become happy, because you're sick and tired of the trap that you're in. You're sick and tired of feeling miserable, of feeling like nothing you do ever works, of running up against the same problems over and over again in your marriage. If that's you and you're sick of that, then let's have a conversation, and I can give you a step-by-step game plan on how to turn your marriage around and how to find your happiness within, and what that's going to look like and what it's going to take from you. So you can go to anewlc.com/talk. Again, newlc.com/talk, and book a free call with me to help you understand how you're unhappy on the inside and what it's going to take to become happy on the inside. And we'll dive into that together, and look at that. So again, you can go to anewlc.com/talk and book a free call with me. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this group and engaging and participating. You make this community what it is, and I am so grateful to be here and share these things with all of you. And if I can support you in any way, please know that that's what I'm here for. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you live your best life possible and know what it really means to be happy on the inside and experience that for yourself. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you all again soon.